We're told we'll take questions there. I would hope so. It's a news conference. A big cleanup on aisle 9. Man, we're going to have the whole grocery store cleaned in a minute. The White House press secretary, Karine Jean-Pierre, on cleanup duty again after she fumbled an easy question on anti-Semitism at Monday's press conference.
What is his level of concern right now about the potential rise of anti-Semitism in light of everything that's going on in Israel?
We have not seen any credible threats, but look, Muslim and those perceived to be Muslim have endured a disproportionate number of hate-fueled attacks, and certainly President Biden understands that.
This person is why I can't get a magic eraser at Target, because she's using them all and every broom. Jean-Pierre sought then to clean up the remarks yesterday.
I want to make something clear. When Jews are targeted because of their beliefs or their identity, when Israel is singled out because of anti-Jewish hatred, that is anti-Semitism, and that is unacceptable. There's no place for anti-Semitism, full stop, period.
Oh, man. The president's press secretary told Fox News Digital that she misheard the question. Power panel now, Mark Penn, veteran pollster and former advisor to the Clintons, plural, and Gianno Caldwell, Fox News political analyst. Great to see you both. Look, the job isn't easy.
Great to be
and
with
it's
you.
Particularly easy when your strongest ally in the Middle East is at war. I get it. I totally get it. But this was a whiff, and she couldn't hit it. Mark.
Yeah, I don't know where she was coming from. Anti-Semitism and hate crimes against Jews has been the #1 hate crime for many years. She would know those statistics. So for her to give a completely opposite answer, and then even when she came back and gave that statement, there's no tolerance for anti-Semitism. The question is, how are you preparing? What are you doing about a potentially increased anti-Semitism attacks now?
Wow.
And she did not answer that question.
Gianno.
80% of Republicans, 72% of Democrats believe that we should be putting forth policy to protect Israel. But what I believe the White House is doing here is making a political calculation. You just ran a whole list of very elite colleges who are having pro-Hamas rallies across the country. And the White House is taking note to that the fact that these Democratic voters, we're talking about Gen Z and millennials, will outpace the baby boomers in terms of votes for the next election. So they're trying to walk a step that they're going to be able to keep their coalitions together. And unfortunately for Israel, this is not the right approach. We should be unequivocal in our support for Israel, policy-wise, those in the administration, and including those in the Democratic Party that sit in Congress, and that's not the case. So this is a tightrope for them.
Headlines are raising some concerns about the Israel-Hamas war, dividing Democrats on Capitol Hill and in 2024. So that's interesting. They want to keep those coalitions together from the White House. I wonder if they can keep the coalitions together on the Hill. The Washington Post with progressives rebel against Biden's handling of Israel-Gaza crisis, a column in the Washington Examiner. Could this Israel-Hamas war split the Democratic Party? And Reuters with Biden's Israel stance angers Arab Muslim Americans, could jeopardize 2024 votes. Reverse order now. Gianno.
Well, I mean, I think that it's quite obvious. I think it will impact these particular votes. And I had no idea. Looking at social media, when you see families slaughtered, when you see the attack that happened in Israel, I just thought that everyone was going to be outraged and say, this is not okay. But that's clearly not been the case across social media, college campuses, and even some people you wouldn't think that would say this. We are clearly a society in crisis, and that's across the globe, not just in the United States, when you see people standing up for Hamas.
Why do you think that is, Mark?
Well, look, we just released a Harris poll. You have to put in perspective, what are the real numbers? The real numbers here are 86% support Israel, 16% support Hamas. So there is huge support in the country, but it's hard to see how big that support is, but it is by generation, not by party. Over 65, it's 95-5. 18 to 24, it is 52 to 48. Young people are filled with all sorts of misinformation. They think that Israel bombed the hospital, 45%. That in a way here like we've never seen. It's a generational gap. not a party gap. But America supports Israel to an incredible extent.
Yeah, that is fascinating. Congressman Burgess Owens was on with me earlier this hour, and what the congressman said was that our young people are mean, that they don't have heart, that something has changed in this newest generation. And then you point to the generationality of support for a terror group. It is fascinating. I think it's something that we can tackle if we recognize it, but we have to start to say it. And these universities, I don't know, they seem to be clinging to their money, clinging to their legacy, and not wanting to deal with what's
failing the test
right in front of them. Exactly. Real quick, last thought, Gianno.
You know, I think that there is a necessity for us as a country to unite, and it shouldn't be among party lines. You just mentioned generational, Mark. I think that we have to be, especially when it comes to colleges and universities. I've seen what some Republicans are looking to do on the Hill by penalizing them. We have to. This is the lifeblood of our allies right now that we're talking about. We have to be very clear in our messaging, regardless of what another generation who hasn't really lived life thinks.
All right, let's model love, peace, and discipline to our young folk. Good to see you. The Faulkner Focus. We appreciate you watching. Outnumbered next.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.